Congratulations for showing up to your own recovery. My name is Ron Smith, and I'm excited to be with you today. I have a lot of clients that come to me, and I'm a drug and alcohol counselor, and I'll help them in overcoming drug addiction for life. And this year, 2021, there's been a heavy emphasis on doing the next right thing. For many, many years, we've been talking about knowledge, getting an understanding. And even there's two particular groups that I deal with, populations, the faith-based community and the secular community. And in both communities, they're having struggles using drugs or drinking alcohol. But one of the things, based on my experience, based on my education, based on my real experience of being out there on drugs myself, going to church for many, many years and still using drugs, able to go into the greatest message in the world and come out and still use drugs. That's a problem. Am I blaming God? No. But today's message, or this video, is actually designed and specifically going to target knowledge versus doing. See, even the Bible tells us to practice those things that you have both learned and received, heard and seen in me. And then it says, model your way of living on it. And then the God of peace, of undisturbed well-being, will be with you. And that's in Philippians 4:9. Also, it goes on to say that faith without works is dead, over in James chapter 2:17, being left alone. Now, in my own personal experience, I have faith, and I left it by itself alone many, many times, and nothing got done. I'm here to submit to you today that even though you know God, you can not do works and nothing will change. You can pray all you want, read a bunch of scriptures, meditate, but nothing's going to change in your life until you take action. We are so often that we know, everyone knows, we all have this knowledge that is not lacking. But the action part, the actual performance or practice and rehearsal piece is, as far as I'm concerned, missing as far as a person moving forward and being successful. Matter of fact, so much so that I even have a formula for success. There's 3 words. You ready for a formula for success? Are you ready for the formula for success? Here it is. There's a formula for success and a formula for disaster. So we'll say it like this. Should, could, don't. That's the formula equal disaster. Remember we're talking about action trumps knowledge. Boom. And here's the formula for success. Should, could, do. That equals success. What do you mean by that, Ron? That means if you know, see, I don't have to tell you this. People don't need a professional like myself to tell them this. All they have to do is look at their own experience, look at their own life, and say, you know what? Whatever it is that you're pursuing, can I do that? Should I do that? You know you should. Say, for example, if you're using drugs, and that's why you're in here, not for using drugs, but the preface for people coming in, this works. But it works in other areas of life. We talked about how we're getting life skills, right? But if I know I should stop using it, for example, and you're going to apply this to whatever you want to put this equation on, I know I should stop smoking dope, drinking alcohol because it's ruining my life. I know I should do that. I don't need someone to tell me I should. I already know. And then I could do it. There's really nothing wrong with it. It ain't because of the criminal justice system. It ain't because of the police killing folks. It ain't because of blacks or whites. It's not because of anything. I could do that if I really wanted to. Had nothing to do with the Republican Party and the Democrats. People always blame everything. But I know I could do it. And if I don't do it, if I should and could.
What if you don't?
If I don't, yeah, that's like, no, well, here's why I say it like that, because everyone's blaming someone. Well, see, because I didn't have a father in my life.
Yeah, okay. It gave some type of influence. You may have went a direction, but once you came to your own choices to, move forward, dad not being in your life. I didn't have my father in my life. Well, I mean, so I used to use that too. That's why I said that, because I didn't have a father figure in my life. If I had a father figure in my life, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. No. Yeah, what's my excuse? I should do whatever it is I'm focused on. It had nothing to do with my dad. It does. So if you know and you don't, just don't do it. Or here's even worse, won't. They just won't do it. They know they should, they could. That's where it comes back to action, trust. Now, just won't do it. This is why I don't take responsibility for a person's change. When I used to, in my first early career, I'm gonna help change the world, if I could just, because I used to be there and here, trying to change someone else. I said, I'm gonna change them if it kills me. Well, I almost died. But you can't. I can't change nobody. The best therapist in the world can't change nobody. I mean, I tell them up front, hey, I'm not here to change you. I'm not here to help you get some other opportunities to practice new behavior. Now, if you practice new behavior, then boom, there it is. You can take this with you. You don't need me, don't need nobody. Just boom, put that together and you're good. And then if you should, could, and do it, if you just follow through with the things that you know you can do. Yeah, could, should, don't, just won't, could, should, do. Then that's the formula for success.
When I worked for the CPS system, I used to get clients that came in, and one of the first things they would say is, I love my children. And so at that moment, I began to think, your children and you loving your children is not in question. We know you love your children. The thing that our focus is to help you stop smoking dope, is to help you stop drinking alcohol. That's the focus. Even though we know you love your children. Same in recovery. Or as a faith-based community, we know you love God. We know you have the scripture. We know you know how to pray. But that's not the issue. The issue is how to stop smoking dope, how to practice new behavior, how to get into action, how to not leave your faith alone. Begin to utilize your skill of doing the next right thing. And the next right thing is doing a practice and rehearsal of a behavior that is going to enhance your faith in God. See, so it's not the prayer alone. It's not reading scripture alone. It's not meditating or in intercessory prayer by itself. It's not saying I have faith and then leaving it by itself. But it's actually acting on those things you know to do right. Practically get into action and start doing something different with your habits. And that's going to take your effort and your discipline to get it done.
Let me put it on here because I want people to see that action trumps knowledge. Yeah. So we hear knowledge is power. And which is true, because you still got to get the knowledge. You still got to get the knowledge. Mm-hmm. It's what we do with it. When I do one-on-one therapy, right? And they're coming in and telling me, I can just sit back and listen to them. They're answering their own questions. And I said, see, but yet they're still out smoking dope. But they come in already knowing, I know I need to do such and such, and see if I just stop doing this, if I stop hanging around the wrong crowd, if I just start hanging out with my family more, and I'll just listen. Hey, you already know what to do. What can you tell me? I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you any more than what you just told me. That's true. Other than now practice new behavior. Skills don't come overnight. This actually is a skill. See, and this is why a lot of people don't go here, because it's a skill to develop, not just something to know. See, now that you got this, what you're gonna do with it, in a sense, it's almost like, it's not just knowledge to have, put it on the shelf like we do books, we just throw the knowledge on the shelf. But it's actually designed to put into action. Practice over and over, over and over, over and over, till you get skilled enough. So then that was a side note, you can have that taken for free.
Matter of fact, there's a story about Joshua coming over into the promised land, him and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and they fought Jericho and they won. The walls came tumbling down. How exciting. Then they went over to Ai, and someone in the fighting crowd of the Israelites named Achan couldn't help himself, and he stole some of the cursed things and he buried them. And what did Joshua do? Joshua began to pray. As a matter of fact, he prayed so long that God had to come over to him and say, get up. Get up twice and go over there and do something. Go get into action. The point of what I'm making of the story is to get into action. There's a time to pray, and then there's time to act. Matter of fact, just think about this as a surgeon, a doctor coming in to perform a heart surgery. And if that doctor came in at that moment, coming in to cut into that heart to do his skill and began to stop and pray, I would think that's the wrong time. Or stop and open up his Bible over the heart while he's performing surgery. Everybody look at him like he's crazy. That's not the time to open the scripture. But now is the time to perform your skill. Such as with recovery. Recovery is the same way. Too often people are coming in saying, well, you know, I prayed and I've done this. No, now's not the time to pray. Now's the time to start practicing new behavior. Now's the time to initiate a better routine in your life. Now's the time to exercise or practice something that's going to help you overcome the cravings of drug addiction. We want to pray, but we want to act. We don't want to leave our faith alone, standing there. And because without your faith, we know it's impossible to please God. But without you, you're not going to be able to be pleased yourself. Matter of fact, I have a new online course called Drastically Overcoming Drug Addiction for Life. And I'm going to put it in the description down below. So I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want to help you get your life together and keep your life together all the days of your life. And until next time, remember, action trumps knowledge.